other individuals are here that can take questions. If you're here, it means you can take a question. And so we have the Chief of Defense Staff here. We have our Minister of Labor and Social Security here also that can take questions. JPS, there's some questions for you in the chat. They want some timelines, so I'm giving you a precursor to the question that's in the chat rooms. And so now we have a man who has agreed to not just be senator, but also to help the private sector to work more closely with government. And that's very important. When we're in a crisis, it's a crisis for all of Jamaica. And I think I want to thank the private sector, especially for you being here today. It does show that you are standing with the government. You are committed to making things better for all Jamaicans wherever you can. And we have to say thank you. And Senator Duncan has been working very closely, and everybody in the private sector has been doing what they can to help. And so, Keith Duncan, you're next.
Good morning, everyone. Morning. So, as chair of this private sector task force, firstly, I would like to just acknowledge that since the passage of this devastating Category 5 Melissa, we have to acknowledge the pain and suffering that as Jamaicans have experienced. That and is real pain, real suffering. We have lost loved ones. Jamaicans at home and abroad have been trying to find family members, friends in the communities because we're out of communication. Thousands and thousands have lost their homes, their businesses, their income. Many have lost everything. In spite of this unimaginable pain and suffering, you hear our Jamaican brothers and sisters saying, once there's life, there is hope. That is the common thing you hear. Once there's life, there's hope. But I have to acknowledge our first responders, our doctors, our nurses, our police, the military, the firemen, as they have worked tirelessly around the clock to save lives and bring comfort to people. I acknowledge the NWA, the JDF, the private citizens with them cutlass, clearing roads to provide access to communities that are marooned. I'd like to express gratitude to the GOJ, the public servants, because we start off a little shaky because anybody get licked by a Category 5, you must shake up. And it's coming together now. It is coming together, the relief effort. It is coming together, and the relief and recovery effort that I'm speaking to. It is taking shape, and it's moving in the right direction. But we have a taskmaster by the name of the Honorable Minister Daryl Vaz. This guy don't stop. He keeps us on task. We try and bring a little structure to it and then him keep us going again and we have to catch up again. So I'd like to acknowledge this man, ladies and gentlemen, for his efforts round the clock. Thank you very much, sir. Respect is due. We have to thank the international community for how they have responded also, with all the support that they're bringing in. I was at a meeting last night with the PS and many others. There were over 100 international people at that meeting, and they are slowly pulling their thing together into a structured manner. It's OCHA. And we will be trying to integrate our efforts to work closely, because if we synergize, we get better results and greater impact. I think you have to thank the MLSS, because as we said, we started off at the JDF in our distribution channels, and they have worked tirelessly to pull it together. Sometimes we cuss, but at the end of the day, what we're working for is the greatest possible impact, okay? The private sector now, we have been working in several areas. First area is we have to support the JDF in their build out of the hub and spoke that the Prime Minister spoke to in terms of the relief distribution aid. Providing logistics support, warehouse space, we have provided warehouse space, we have provided equipment, trucking, transportation, as they build out this multi-purpose distribution model across Jamaica. As I said, we're mobilizing for access, chainsaws. We're bringing in chainsaws because we don't have enough chainsaws and there are no more chainsaws in Jamaica. Earth-moving equipment to open up roads and access to the maroon communities. The private sector groupings under the leadership of Mitra Siaga, Catherine Silvera, and Emile Leiber have set up an emergency operations center with the help of Lisa Suarez-Lewis to coordinate the efforts to, one, as a primary objective, to get businesses back up and running and economic activity going. So working in tandem with everybody who is out there doing the work and clearing roads, getting light back in, getting water back in, the private sector is toe-to-toe working that through. And I'd like to acknowledge the leadership of the private sector who is here, Mr. Mitra Siaga. We also have worked out the supply chain, and that has been in terms of the relief, food, the water, the shelter, the building supplies, that supply chain thing that we're working through with the MNSS who is in charge of procurement. We have, as I said, we have established a National Emergency Operations Center within the private sector, and that is and it is a coordinated effort at the private sector. The PSOJ, JME, and the JCC have joined forces to establish a tax-free donation fund along with the Council of Voluntary Social Services to purchase care packages on behalf of for our brothers and sisters who are in these communities. Volunteerism is also important. We just want to thank the volunteers and
ladies and
Minister
gentlemen,
Walter
please stand for the arrival of the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning, PM. And you can continue. You can finish up.
Honorable PM, welcome, sir. But, so I'm saying, it's not an easy road, and it will not be an easy road. The private sector under the leadership of the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, the PSOJ, the JMEA, the parish associations, MSMEs, the small and medium enterprises, we are fully activated, working collaboratively with the government and our NGOs and our international partners to save lives, restore livelihoods, rebuild our economy, and construct a stronger, more resilient Jamaica. As the Jamaican people say, where there's life, there is hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Keith, and thank you to all of the members of for your support. It is very much